Hello, beautiful people. Janet Beckers here with a new episode of Romance Your Tribe Radio. Do you ever feel as if you're on some kind of marketing hamster wheel? You're putting out blog posts, Facebook posts, you're creating awesome images and really helpful things that you've got over there on Instagram or LinkedIn. Maybe you're using YouTube. You may be running Facebook ads, doing webinars, every single thing that you can think of that you can be doing for marketing, but you're not necessarily getting the results that you want. And you're thinking, what am I doing? Like, have I got my message wrong? Am I doing it all wrong? That's what we're going to be looking at today. At the end of this session, you'll have some clarity on whether what you're doing, if your marketing messaging is wrong, or if there are actually other areas in your business that are not fixed yet, that until they're fixed, the marketing is not going to work for you. It's just going to go straight down into a black hole or go up against a hard wall and bounce off. So we're going to have a look at what those two things are, that if you don't have those fixed, your marketing is really going to be a waste of time. Now, I have got a resource here to help you. So if you go to romanceyourtribe.com/bizwheel, B-I-Z wheel, or one long word, you'll see that I've got a great resource there for you. It'll also be linked there on the podcast notes that go with today's episode. Now, this is it's a diagnostic tool that I use when I work with my higher end clients. We go in depth with this to work out where they stand on the 12 areas that are absolutely essential to a healthy, growing business. So I've got that for you. You'll have the template you can use yourself and a really step-by-step guide. So you'll be able to go and look at your business and give yourself a rating out of 10 for every one of those 12 areas. Okay? So you've got that there as your resource. Now let's dive in, and I'm just going to walk through what are those two areas, because it may very well be, and I can bet for most people, there's going to be these two areas that are the things that are letting you down, and that may be why your marketing is not working. Okay? It may not be all this hard work you're doing. It's just some missing pieces. Great. So why am I talking about this now? Well, at the time of recording this, honestly, we have been in some kind of lockdown throughout the world for, it's coming on like 9 months now. It's a long time. During that time, so many things that have changed that are affecting every single person's business. These are going to be external factors, things that you may or may not have been able to adapt to be able to prepare for. So you don't know if the reason why your business is, not working as well as it may have before, or just hasn't really yet, you don't know if that's happening because of external factors, or if it's something to do with the way that you're responding to them, or whether it's something to do with your whole business model. So it's really bringing up, first of all, weaknesses that may have already been in existing businesses, and also things that you just need to adapt. So you don't know whether you should be renovating your business, whether you should be detonating your business and starting all over again, or whether you should be celebrating what you've got and really expanding and growing on that. It can be really, really difficult sometimes to know what to do. Now, the thing that I have noticed, and this has been with clients and with peers and just really observing everybody that's in my sort of sphere in business, is people have tended to react in two ways. They have either kind of put their head underneath the doona and just thought, just tell me when it's all over, okay, and I'll come out. It's been very, very fear focused, and if that's been you, that's okay. I totally get it, because this is the time when you will be feeling like you just don't have control over what is happening around you, because things are changing so much. It's really, really scary. And when you're in business, really the buck stops with you. Like, you're the person that's going to have to make all the decisions, make the adjustments, face hard truths. It can be really, really difficult. Okay, so a lot of people have reacted that way, and it comes from that sense of, I don't have control. Now, other people have reacted by, first of all, going, holy heck, like, you know, what's happening here? What do I need to do? But then they've gone, okay, what can I take control of? Where are the things that are in this situation that I got control over that I can make work? And these are the people that you may have seen them, that they've pivoted, or they've added in something new into their business, or they've just focused on one thing and gone hard. So, and they're the people who are growing. They're the people who are going to come out of this strong. So, and that's because they've looked at it and gone, well, what can I control? Let's focus on that. Let's make that work. So that's why I'm talking about this today, because whichever situation you've been in, if you've been the person that's gone, yeah, what can I control? Oh, good on you. That is fantastic. Share what you're doing. Celebrate with people so people can see it's possible, okay? Share that, this is what's happening. Business is going good, but I had to make tough decisions. Share it with people. People need your inspiration. If you've been the other way, just know that I'm going to give you today things that you can be doing that can help you to work out what do you have control over. And know that this is the thing that I do with my clients. So if you're looking things and thinking, I really can't work out what I can control, what do I need to change? Should I renovate, detonate, or celebrate? Know that that's what I'm here for, okay? So just send me an email, a private message, come and find me and ask how I can help you, because I have a few different ways that I can help you and the systems that are going to help you to get there. But let's focus back now on what we're going to be able to do here today. Okay, so what I have found is that one of the first things that people do when they're faced with, these external factors that we've had at the moment, where everything is changing around us and there is a lot of fear out there in the community. Still, there was a lot when we first had the news of the pandemic, but there is now this underlying sense of like a need of safety. Now, one of the first things that people will do is they will just lower their prices, cut their prices and go, right, okay, everything is like a fraction of what it was before. Now, that's a really, in some cases that may be relevant, but in most cases, it's just fear talking, okay? So yeah, you do have control over, your pricing, but you can decide that you have got control over that. So what we're going to be looking at here, pricing will be part of it, but it's not really the thing that's going to make the biggest difference to you. So just know that that's not the only thing that you have control over, because very often it's not a pricing issue at all. Okay, so now let's look at the two things that you can control, that you need to be having a look at, that very often will have been affected by what is happening in the world at the moment. And I tell you what, these changes are going to be continuing. So you need to be looking at these areas. It's not as if you can go, oh, okay, I can come back under the doona, it's all over, because when you come back over that doona and look around, the landscape has changed. So you can't ignore it. Okay, so let's look at the first two areas. The number one in the business wheel, now that's the template that I've got for you. It's got 12 areas, and each of those, it's actually 6 big areas, and there are 2 important parts in each one. So within those 6 areas, one of them is marketing, and we can go into a lot more depth in that after you've got these 2 areas. Mickey Mouse. So we're going to look first of all at one of the other areas, which is, customer excellence. And that breaks down into 2 areas, and we're going to talk about one, the number one thing that you really, really need to look at. And that is product excellence, product and service excellence. Now you might be thinking, well, I've got great products, great service, I get results for people. But the reality is things have changed. People you need to look at here is, has my avatar changed? Like, what is happening to the people who I focus on, who I serve? What is happening to them? Now, this is especially true if this is business to business, but what is happening to the businesses that you serve? Have their needs changed? Do you actually then need to look at, okay, I might need to have a completely different avatar, especially if your business has been really focusing on serving an industry that has been severely affected at the moment. For example, the events industry or the travel industry. You may need to look at either, do I need to have a talk to these people and find out what is it that they are needing now, because your products that have been getting results for people, they may have been getting results that are long term, that are there, the things that are going to be getting them results long term as they're going. They may not be interested in that at the moment. Their focus is on short term. So you may need to look at either the way you're delivering your products and services or what you're delivering. You may need to take part of what you're doing and change it. Or you may need to change completely what your product and service offering is to meet them at the moment, because they may be looking at short-term issues and that's what they need your help with. It may be that you've got to change your avatar completely. You may need to go into a completely different industry, or you may need to change a bit of what they're doing. It may be that they're going, well, you know what, we can't afford to bring you in-house. We can't afford to get you to do this stuff for us, or we can't even physically do it. You may need to change the way that you're doing things. That may be, instead of a done for you, you may be doing a teaching, an education component. I've got clients that are coming to work with me now in my higher end, in my accelerator program, because they've very much been a done for you and going out to people and doing it. They can't do it now. Their market is saying, teach us how to do this in-house. So there is an opportunity for them, but it's an education model rather than a done for you model. They need to change. That's what they're doing with me. So that's what you need to ask yourself is, there is no use you putting your marketing out there if what you're going to be selling is not meeting your market at the moment where they are. Now, if you're business to consumer, what is happening in your consumer's life in terms of what they are needing you for, what they would, for what you help them with. It may very well be that they're going, you know what, I'm actually quite cool now to be doing things online. I'm used to the whole Zoom thing. I'm used to, the flexibility to be able to do things from home. Well, is that what they are now looking at? Are you meeting them where they are? Are you keeping up to date? Are you able to be able to get those clients that are going, yeah, I want to do things differently? Maybe that's what they've got. Maybe they also are looking at things that are happening for them at the moment. They may be short-term needs that they're focusing on, and the things that you've got for longer term may not be the things that are going to be really important to them at the moment. So have a look at those sorts of things, whether you're business to business or business to consumer. What are the needs now? So have a look at the way that you are delivering your products and services. Are you meeting that? Are you doing it in the way that they need now? And then also have a look at what you're offering it. Is it meeting their needs that are absolutely top of mind at the moment? Or are you trying to sell them into something that is not as relevant to them at the moment? It's not meaning it's not going to be later, but it may not be right now, or it may never be. It may need to change. So that's my very first challenge to you, is I want you to have a look at what you are offering and really ask yourself the tough questions. Is this what my clients are wanting now? If not, do I need to change the offering? Or if not, do I need to change the clients? Do I need to move to a different avatar? That's the tough one to ask, because this is ultimately what your marketing is feeding into. So if that's not right, if you haven't taken the time to make sure that you're actually adapting, your marketing's not going to go anywhere, okay? That's just going to go down that dark hole, right? Now, to do this, you're very likely going to have to go and do some research. You're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to take that time to really understand them. So if you're not sure how to do that, you can have a look at some of my past podcasts where I've talked about avatars, but I've got very, very specific strategies that I use around this that are quite different to what a lot of people do, especially the profitable avatar quadrant, where we identify the 4 core avatars that you work with, and we look for the ones that are the most profitable. We can identify those. So that's where your marketing goes. So if you need help with that, contact me and I can show you to the resources that I can help you to do that. Okay, so that's going to be your number one. So use the tool that I've given you, the business wheel, which is romanceyourtribe.com/biz wheel, B-I-Z wheel. Go and have a look at that, because I go into detail the things that you can rate yourself on. What are the questions you need to ask yourself specifically around this area? And you can give yourself a rating out of 10 and work out what are the areas that you need to be working on. Okay, so that's number one. Let's look at the next one. And this is the thing that people often start with the marketing. They go, I know I need to build a list, I need to get an audience, and they'll start there. But as we've already looked at, your marketing leads to what it is that you're doing with people, what you're helping them to do. Make sure you've got that right. You really have to really evaluate that. So the next thing between the marketing and the product or service is you have to have a way to sell it. And now this is very often, even outside of this times, where this is the big, there's a big gap here very often. And this falls into two areas. So this is actually fits in when I talked about how there are 6 areas and there are 2 within those. Well, we're going to look actually at 2 here that are there. Number one is your offer. Like, have you got it in a way that what you are offering people in the pricing, in the inclusions, in how it's delivered, in the outcomes that you have, the things that overcome their objections, have you got an offer that when you get it in front of your ideal customer, that they go, a no-brainer, like, why wouldn't I take that up? That's going to solve the issue I've got at the moment in a way that really works for me. And honestly, the value that you are giving here, I would pay a fortune more for. Does your offer get that reaction? If not, you need to be looking at what your offer is, because that is basically what is selling what you have put all this work into to know that you're creating something people need. So really be honest with yourself about your offer. So you need to evaluate that. Again, this is one of the things I've got step-by-step systems for, and also spreadsheets to help you to work out how much you should charge, so that you're making a profit, and also, every single thing that you need there. So if you need help with that, just contact me. Now, the other thing that you're going to do is, once you've got your offer, how do you communicate it? What do you have in place to make it so that you can be easily making sales? So do you have sales material? Do you have like a brochure? Or do you have a sales page? Do you make it really easy for people to buy? Do they have to go through too many steps to be able to give you the money? Do you have some way that people can be continually being able to see, understand the offer? You may have to, are you doing that through, say, video, or are you doing that through sales page, through webinars perhaps, or are you getting people onto a phone call and you have a process to walk them through so that you are knowing when you're on a phone call with them that you can really be able to sell what you're offering? Do you have those processes in place? Because there's no use doing all this wonderful marketing. And this is where it comes up to the hard wall. They can do all the marketing, they get to you or your website, wherever it is, and there's a blank wall there. Because they're going, well, how do I find out what it is that you offer? I don't understand what you're offering. Explain it to me. And where do I pay? If you don't have that in place, you come against a brick wall, they're just going to bounce off. So why invest in all that time and effort and money in marketing if you don't have that? Okay, so that's the 2 main areas. Now, there are actually 12 that are really, really important. They're not all equal, okay? It doesn't mean that every single thing has to be perfect. Ask even the most successful businesses, and I bet they would not rate themselves 10 out of 10 in all 12 areas that are on the business wheel. So we've covered their 2 main ones. And these are the ones really that are more equal than the others, because if you get this right, it's going to make the other ones so much easier to do. Okay, so if you want to go over to romanceyourtribe.com/bizwheel, you'll be able to see where you can get the template and also the step-by-step workbook that shows you how to assess where you're at, 10 out of 10, what your ratings are. And then importantly, it's not just what your lowest rating is, that's the area you've got to fix. No, each of those areas, they've got different priority. So it'll show you how to work out where the most opportunity is. If you plug that your marketing is going to start working better for you. Okay, I would love to hear from you. The most important thing to me is that you take action. That is the most rewarding thing for me, to know that taking the time to produce this podcast, to record this, to get it out there to you, the best reward for me is to hear from you, to know what actions you've taken. So I would love to hear from you. What did you do when you had a look at these core areas? Can you see if you've got gaps? Are there changes that you need to make? Do you need to really reassess your market, assess your offers again? Or do you need to get in place a way that you can be selling? Or are you going, you know what, I've nailed those, Janet. It's the marketing that's not working. Or it may be one of those other areas that really need to be worked on. I'd love to hear from you. What have you identified as the areas that you're going to focus on first to be able to plug those gaps? I would love to hear from you. So leave a comment down below. If you're on the podcast page, leave a comment there. Come and find me over on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. They're the places I tend to hang out the most. And all of them, you just look for Janet Beckers, and I am there. Come and find me there and just come and send me a message. Tell me what results. What are you going to focus on first? Or come over to the Romance Your Tribe Facebook group and come and share there with myself and with your peers. Okay, go get them, folk. And you'll be seeing, I'll be putting out over the next couple of weeks how to diving in a little bit deeper into these 12 areas and having a look at some things that you can be doing now that are going to really impact on plugging all those different holes in your business, so that we're not aiming for perfection, but I'm going to show you things that you can be doing so that you can really focus on the things that are going to move the needle the most in your business. So look forward to those. Next week, I've actually got a guest that's coming, and we're going to be looking at one core area that's to do with the business wheel, which is around personal excellence and leadership. We're going to be looking at that. I'm going to bring a guest in to talk to you with a system that's going to help you to be able to really focus on that, so that you've got the energy and the passion and the focus to plug these holes in your business. Okay, go get them, folks, and make a difference. Bye.